What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Childish. We're back at again with the second episode for the exclusive interview with Com2uS series. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. I had the distinct pleasure and honor of bringing on board Com2uS Dude from the Twitch stream community for Com2uS, and I have with you today the better half, as we all
Yes,
know,
sir.
Mr. Desperado, repping
And I'm
it.
glad somebody knows it,
Yeah,
because that's
that's
the
right.
big
That's
fight we have in our stream. Who's the best?
that's it. That's it. Com2uS Desperado is in the house. Thank you for taking the time to come on board with us, sir.
Thank you for having me, man. It's actually a pleasure and an honor to be here. After meeting you personally, you came to pay us a visit here in the office, and it was awesome.
Oh man, it was the
That's
best.
the thing about this game that I love, dude, is that you actually get to become friends with people. People have WhatsApp groups. People come to the community, to Facebook community, right? They create unofficial Facebook groups or whatnot, but they always get together, and that's the beauty of it. People have been coming to our streams for a good part of a year now, and the same people talking to us every single week. There's no way you can be friends, and it's just a pleasure to be here talking to the community a little bit more.
Awesome. Yes, definitely. And so, for anybody that's new to the channel, obviously Desperado's been doing it big with Dude for quite some time, but Desperado, there's going to be quite a few people out there that still are unfamiliar with you guys and what you do for the community. So before we get into the Twitch side of things, I was wondering if you can kind of give us a little background on who is Desperado and what does he do for Com2uS?
For sure, man. Desperado is this handsome man you see on the screen.
My man. Got
Brazilian
him.
born and raised. Keep your opinions to yourself, Childish.
Yeah.
Brazilian born and raised, came here to the United States when I was 17 years old, and always wanted to work in the gaming industry, right? Especially as a kid in Brazil, playing my little consoles or whatever, right?
Hmm.
But here's the thing: what was the prospectus for a Brazilian kid to come and working in the video game industry? Not very good. I was just blessed enough, I guess, to come to this country, and things just worked out, man. After graduating in film and video, getting my master's degree in writing, creative writing, I was looking for a job. I saw that Com2uS needed somebody who would speak Portuguese, and here I am.
Here you are. Here you are. And
Working with localization and as well as community management for Summoners War in Brazil and Portugal.
there you go. And so, with regards to localization, you say that term like everybody knows it. I mean, I know you and I both know, but there's a lot of people out there that are like, "What is localization?" Because when I came to you at Com2uS, I was like talking to dude on site, dude, what's localization? I
Yeah,
didn't
dude.
know. So, I want you to help the community out. Tell a little bit about what it is you do as far as the localization team. What do they do in general, and then how you came aboard on that.
Absolutely, man. And the thing about localization is everybody thinks that localization is translation, right? It's
Sure,
just
sure.
translating the game or whatnot. But it's a lot more than that. When I joined the company, the head of Com2uS USA told me that as being part of the localization team, you actually have to do everything. And that's kind of true.
Sure.
Because pretty much you have to oversee everything in these worlds in which you speak the language of that the rest of the company doesn't. So, you have to do a little bit of marketing research. You have to do a little bit of community management. You do have to translate. You do have to validate. You do have to test. All of the aspects that involve the gaming industry, other than programming, of course, but most of the aspects that involve in the game industry, you have to do that as part of a localization team.
That's cool.
It's a lot of work. That's why sometimes when you guys come visit the office, sadly, I don't have a whole lot of time to sit down and talk to you guys here in the office because it's either translating something, it's either doing CS and helping people out with whatever troubles they're having within the game. It's researching marketing, so maybe you can bring the company to a country or not, like we did with BGS in last year, right?
Yeah.
In Brazil.
Yeah.
So all these small aspects of it just gives us constant work in a way that is really difficult for us to just, stop.
Sure. And
But
I was gonna say,
that's why we kind of party kind of hard when we're out of the office.
you got to, my man. You got to. So it's funny that you say that because I was putting some notes down as far as some of the things that happened that I did. When I came down there, and one of the things that was big time clear, and you just stated before that the localization team does everything. I had an opportunity to watch all you guys working in different categories, coming into different
Right.
people's offices, and basically talking about various issues. There's not just one opinion. There's a lot of people talking, with regards to all the different departments and whatnot. So I was wondering if you can typically maybe give like a sample issue or something that you deal with on a regular basis, and how do you go
Yeah,
about
dude.
resolving that?
Absolutely, man. Like one of the big things, for example, was going to BGS, right? We just based on a lot of market research and whatnot, we found out that BGS was actually the third largest gaming convention in the world. I believe it's the number one in Latin America. And you know, he's talking to the marketing team, he's talking to our PR team, he's talking to our design team to create everything that we want to do in order to have that convention work well and to represent the name of Com2uS the best way possible, right? It was the first time that we went to a different country as Com2uS USA, and it was extremely successful. It was really, really cool. But another thing that happened, for example, before the before the light and dark scrolls were included into the daily rewards, right? It was really, really rare for anybody to have a light and dark monster. You probably remember that,
Yo, you know
Childish.
I
You've been
do, baby.
playing a lot.
Yep.
Difficult. It was difficult. But now that people are getting them every month, if they just simply enter the game for 24 days, you know,
Correct. Correct.
they're getting all of these monsters, and we're starting to realize that not only Portuguese are the languages, but English as well. There are a few issues with skills descriptions or whatnot. And that's something that involves localization too. People come to us, talk to us. We have to talk to the PMs. We have to talk to a bunch of other people surrounding the issue. But just because it's a localization issue, it's a translation issue, we still have to talk with all of these people to make sure that the game is running properly and with the correct skills.
Yeah. And I was gonna say we had ourselves the what is it? I mean, when I think of Com2uS, I think of the headquarters, across the pond over there in Korea.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, between them and then you guys over here, and then, I mean, there's quite a few languages going on here. Could you? I don't know if you could name them all off the top of your head, but can you tell us
Oh
more or less
God, man. It
all the
really
language?
depends. The issue about language, it really depends on the game. Each
Sure,
game has its own strategy and its own
sure.
marketing, right? But for Summoners War specifically, I believe that we have maybe 12 to 13 languages going on right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot, dude. We have German, we have Russian, we have Spanish, Portuguese for sure, English, of course, Korean, Japanese, Chinese, Indonesian, Thai, yeah, definitely some other language. Oh, French
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
And there you go. I guess that's 13.
Yeah, yeah, that's up there. I lost I lost count, but that is so many. Yeah, no,
I hope I didn't. And maybe that's the first epic fail of the whole recording.
no, 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 man, you're good, you're good. So
I'm sure your audience is counting, so bring it on, boys.
yeah, buddy. So when you came on board, you started work with the localization team, doing your thing with that, and then you had the opportunity last year to be a part of the Summoners War stream team, which has got you in touch with Dude and so on and so forth. So I was wondering if you can kind of fill people in on how that kind of come all about. How did you get in touch with that, and then how you got on board?
Dude, it's I just talk to people, man. Like I'm a people's person. I like to
Definitely.
talk. I love to trash talk specifically. So when the opportunity of having the stream came along, I couldn't say no to it. You know, it's something that I have been doing for a while too. You know, like I actually have a movies podcast that I work on. It's called Movie Chatcast, and there's little to no censorship there. So please don't judge
All right, all
this
right,
speech
all
if you
right.
guys go check it out. But the point is, I'm used to talking to people real time live, you know, and the company needed it, so I just kind of offer myself to go, and it just worked beautifully, man. Because I do believe that, dude, as much as as he annoys me sometimes, I think we balance each other out really well. You know, he comes with the nurturing aspect of him, knowing everything about the game, know everything about the runes, and I come with that aspect of I'm one of you guys, dude. Like you guys know, it took me forever to get a natural 5-star, even though I've been working here.
Yep.
Uh,
I was gonna say that's probably gonna be leading into one of my next questions for you. There's gonna be a couple of questions coming on board a little bit later down the road, but one of
yeah,
the one
man.
of the things that is gonna stick out, that most people ask about that we can't do anything about is the factor of RNG, and I think your story tells it the best. So I was hoping that you could take a small opportunity to
Brother,
to share your journey when it comes to Summoners War summoning
dude.
and whatnot.
The pain is
The
real,
pain is
dude.
real.
It's real, man. Like I got to the point of opening 3 legendary scrolls in a row. No 5-stars, man. No 5-stars. Took me forever. People still laugh at me because of the TOA race that we have that we do. That when they play me, they're not allowed to use their 5-star monsters. Just because now I got a few 5-stars
Right, right.
finally after over a year and a half. I got like maybe 3.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, being that one of them is actually is Katarina, right?
Right,
So
right.
she's a fusion monster, so I don't really count her too much as being the natural 5-star.
Sure.
But right now I have the retouch that I just got recently,
Yep.
and which by the way, oh my god,
It's a
I can't
beast.
wait!
It's a
I
beast.
cannot wait, man.
Yeah.
And I also got the water chimera.
Yep.
But man, like guys, don't give up. I know the pain is real, dude. I actually showed the game to the guy that I live with, my Brazilian partner Andre, and dude, like to this point, 3 months playing, nothing, not even like a usable 4-star,
Right.
nothing. And it's just the way it is, man. It's just the way it is. I just hope that RNGesus bless you and it breaks the curse, man. One thing though that I have come to realize is that after I got my first natural 5, which was the Katarina,
Yep.
the other ones came a lot faster than a year and a half.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just don't give up, guys. Keep playing the game, keep upping your monsters, and it's all about the runes. The monsters do help, yes, but if you want to take your gaming to the next level, it's all about the runes. It's how you build them. It's how lucky you are for the substats to come correctly and to up correctly. And that's what makes the big difference in the game. That changes your strategy. I couldn't do B10 until a few weeks back, until I was like, you know what, let me invest in mana and let me up these runes. And there you go, baby.
Yeah.
Doing that easily now,
That's great.
matter of minutes.
Yeah.
Matter of
I was
minutes.
gonna say I've never been that moment that you gave me the call, the text that to let me know what was going on. I could have never been more proud. So I mean, I've always heard the stories about you being able to summon, and you always keep a smile on your face despite the fact that Com2uS dude is summoning natural 5-stars like I'm drinking
Dude.
protein shakes, right? I'm going. We're both going through them like crazy, and so I'm sitting here like, oh my god, when is this guy gonna get it? He needs to get it. I mean, he needs to
I know,
to get
dude.
lucky. And then that one night, you gave me the text, the call, and I swear I woke my wife up. She was like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "No, you don't get it. He just got his first nap. I've been playing the game since 1976. He got his
I
nap
know,
5."
dude. Oh my god, I was really hoping to have that happen on the stream though,
Yeah.
because I think people on the stream really deserved it, dude. Because they were with me from the beginning, the very beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But that's okay. That's okay.
That's all right.
Maybe soon enough they'll see it. They'll see it.
Gotcha. And then the last question I got.
But sorry to cut you off, but it's funny you'd say that too, man, about your wife. Because I remember when I got my Lucian, right?
Mhm.
I came to my partner at the time and I was like, listen, I know you don't care. I know there's no point at all for you, but please rejoice because I got this monster. And she was like, well, congratulations. And then I was like, it's not
No,
enough.
that's
So I
not.
called
Hey,
Gary.
nah,
I
nah, man,
call.
nah. Give her one of these. Nah.
Yeah, man. I just called one of my buddies that work with me here, and I'm like, listen, I got it. And they were rejoicing, dude. It was like Christmas all over again. I was like, yeah, that's how you do it, woman. I'm just kidding.
Nice, nice. I got a couple of gameplay questions for you, but before we get into that, I kind of wanted to finish off the introduction bit with regards to the localization team. We've kind of talked about what it is that's been going on this past and present now. But as far as expanding, right, and making sure that we're reaching out to various countries and continents and whatnot,
Mhm.
is there anything that you could share with us with regards to where you're trying to reach out possibly in the near future?
Right now, I believe that we're working on the biggest markets as of is with Summoners War specifically. As I said, each game has its own exclusive strategy, and then the countries that we kind of choose to work on closely. It really depends on the season. It really depends whether it's summertime or not, whether kids are going to school or not, whether
Sure.
kids are playing more or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So as of now, we've been working very closely to the German market, a few other
Cool.
select European countries. But as far as expanding for Summoners War, I that's my personal opinion. This is not Com2uS' opinion. I don't know their strategy, to be very honest. But I believe that as of now, we are focusing on these countries that we have already established the game and just making sure that it's running as smoothly as possible with the least crashes or the least everything as possible, and make sure that people are satisfied and happy in playing the game. That's what makes the game, dude. If the feeling of satisfaction doesn't strike you, the game dies, right?
Right.
So that's really what we're working on, is making sure that people in these countries that we have already established Summoners War as a great game, as top 10, top 15 of both markets, can be satisfied in playing the game.
Amazing. Yeah. I could have said any better for sure. Let me see. So you already kind of gotten talking to us about the your summoning story, whatnot. So I just kind of wanted to ask you some
Oh
random
God,
questions. Some random
it,
questions.
it's a sad story, man. It's a
No, no,
sad
no. But
story.
I mean, we kind of got that out already. But the one thing that I kind of want to ask you is, when you're playing the game, for us as a gamer, that we play at night and day, why, our opinions vary from people all over the place, right? And so my question to you is, everyone has their favorite types of monsters or whatnot, and some people are biased to the ones they have, but some people have that one dream, Nat 4, Nat 5, or whatever
Right.
that they want. So out of the four categories, we got ourselves attack monsters, defense monsters, support or HP. Which ones out of those are your favorite ones? Think of all the ones out there, not just the ones you have. Which ones are your favorite units and why?
All right, all right. Well, you see, I have the philosophy that the most I expect to get a 5-star, or the most I want a monster, the least are the chances I'm gonna get one. So I try not to get too focused on that. Uh, that said, though, let me just start playing our raid here real fast. That said, though, let's start with attack, right?
Okay.
Uh, I have a big crush on Hua just because
Yeah.
when I had nobody, she was there, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like for the longest time, she was the only unit I had that would cause, crazy damage and that would help me because of, keeping the attack bar of the enemy to crushing me. So we just established a really good relationship, I guess. To this day, I ask my, on the stream, what monster do you guys want me to rap? And some of them still say, use the Hua. Don't change your Hua. We love your Hua,
Hmm.
That said, though, I have seen some nasty damage being made by Trevor, and it's just a monster that I found recently, to be honest. So I'm working on him. I can't wait to create crazy damage, as I have seen with mine as well. It's one hit and a lot of HP going down, dude. I know that people want me to say maybe Perna or whatnot, but I'm gonna keep with the units that I do have and that I'm working on because that's my reality,
Yeah.
right? So I would say for attack, Hua and Trevor for sure. Uh, for support, Shasun.
Too soon. I like it.
Love Shasun very much, man.
Great unit.
Brings the HP up, balances the HP with the Falling Blossoms, buffs with the attack for 2 turns. You really can't go wrong with her too much, dude. Like, whether it's Arena, whether it's GVG, whether it's Dungeons or Scenario, I like my Shasun. I will use her all day long. I like Bella too. I like Bella also used as a defense monster. I think to me, Bella is the most balanced monster in the game. Period.
Sure. Sure.
In every way possible. From defense break, buff removal, healing. Increasing the attack bar. What else can you
Yeah.
ask
No.
from a
You
monster?
got it. You got it all.
So I guess I'll put that on my defense as well. Make it a little bit more tanky and let it hold your defense. Let it just heal your monsters all day long, man.
Yeah.
And for HP, of course, I had to say the retouch, right?
Sure.
Speed
Yeah.
buff on the first kill, man. Are you kidding me? With a critical hit, that's true.
Yeah.
But what?
Yeah, buddy.
It's the first kill, dude. You know
What?
what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
No,
No,
it's
it's an amazing. I mean, all the beast monks are really truly amazing. I still remember summoning mine where I was getting ready. I was doing summonings with Dubbies, my wife, and
yeah.
we were talking about how Nat 5 summons on the summoning stones is like non-existent, and no joke. I have the recording on my YouTube channel. After I said that comment, the first summoning stone I pushed, Chandra pops,
Oh,
dude. Chandra pops. I'm like, what? I go,
really?
what? Like you
Oh
do.
man,
It was
dude.
crazy. It was nuts. It was nuts.
That's
So
epic. That's epic,
yeah,
dude.
but
And I mean, PvP king, right? Retouch for
yeah,
PvP, it's monster,
it
dude.
is.
SS as heck.
Yeah,
So I guess those would be my top monsters right now. And as I said, I would like to include a few of those that I do have. Actually, I do have the Hua, I have Trevor, I have Shasun, I have Retouch, and I have Bella. So I guess I'm just really saying, the best units I have and how I use them more appropriately, I guess. But as I said, I try not to focus too much on the 5-star monsters because I truly believe that the more I want them, the least are the odds for me to have them.
sure.
I like to be surprised.
Yeah,
So yeah.
definitely. Okay. And so those are the units that you want now. Let's talk about the runes. What is your favorite rune set and why?
Ah man, I guess I have to go with violent, right?
Right,
Everybody
right.
loves violent. As a rule of thumb, just put violent with HP, no speed, HP, HP. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's an OP rune. I agree. I disagree with as people say that it's too OP, that it spoils the game, it ruins the game strategy, blah 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 blah. You know, my defense procs okay. My attack procs a lot.
Right.
You know, I have nothing to say, but violent runes definitely it's the set to go. If not violent, definitely revenge.
Yep.
If I would go with the original rune sets though, from the very
Ooh,
very
I like
first
that. I
launch,
like that even better.
I guess I would go with Swift.
Swift.
Swift,
Yep.
because speed is everything in this game, dude. Whoever attacks first has the chance.
Yep.
I guess it's almost as in a real fight. Who am I to say that? Like, I'm not a fighter, but whoever punches first has the odds in his favor. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I guess the same applies to the game. So I guess if I would go with more traditional runes, I would go definitely Swift.
Okay.
And other than that, either Revenge or Violent is the way to go.
Okay. Nice. And so, with regards to that, we got ourselves a lot of things that have changed and evolved over your time, over my time playing this game and whatnot.
That's true.
And so, just like I do with my other series and whatnot, I'd love to bring on my guests. And since we get the opportunity to create a video that the Com2uS community will see, you setting aside, even though you're part of the company, let me get your personal opinion today. Why don't you tell me if there was one thing to change about the game, right? One thing to change about the game, what would it be and why?
Ooh. That's a good one.
There you go.
I think the one thing that I would really, really love to have in the game, and I believe it's missing, is the chance of doing PvP by choice. For example, let me test my monsters versus yours, Childish.
Sure.
I don't want to wait to meet you in the arena. I want to fight you right now.
Right.
I think that's... I don't know whether these are the plans of the devs or not. I really have no idea. And it's not in my position to speak of. But as a gamer, as a player... not even as an employee, I think that's the way to go. That's what will make this game as competitive as it can possibly be. And finally, we can have like real tournaments of Summoners War. Yeah. Set up your best team, set up your best runes, and let's go to battle.
Let's go. Let's do it. Let's kick it.
Yeah, dude. It's the MMA of MMOs. You know what I'm saying?
You know it. All right. And so, as you guys know, for those that are following the YouTube channel, my guild or community is called Epic Fail. I've been having it for quite some time, and then we all in the Epic Fail community embrace Epic Fail and use it as fuel to the fire to, make us a stronger version of ourselves. So, that being said, my question to you is, within the game, what is your biggest epic fail and why?
Oh my God, man. It's just getting really good 4-star monsters and using them as food just to, level up a skill or something like that. Noob moves, man. Noob moves. Yep. It just kind of happens. Or it has happened before too, that I was thank God it wasn't a 5-star, but it was a 4-star unit. I don't remember which one it was, to be very honest. Maybe it was what was it? I don't recall. Maybe it was an Acasis or something like that.
Okay, I did the same thing with the cases too. Yeah. Cases
really?
and Shannon. I did a case of Shannon's where I just used them as fodder for 6 stars. Yeah.
It's just the way things go, man. And sometimes just giving a monster for food just because it wasn't locked,
Yeah.
It hurts your heart, makes you want to break your phone, makes you promise to ever play this game again, and then 2 days later you're playing it again, just trying to go after that.
Yeah, buddy.
But I guess my biggest fails are definitely, I guess the biggest epic fail that I have had, to be honest, Childish, was not putting my runes to 15 plus.
Sure.
Even the 4-star runes, because some people say, oh, if it's a 4-star rune, it's not worth it. Just keep it on 9 or just keep it on 12. I've heard people say, if it's a 4-star, keep it at 9. If it's a 5, keep it at 12. Mm-hmm. If it's a 6, go all the way to 15. Mm-hmm. And I think that was foolishness on my side. As I said, the moment that I decided to put all of my runes on the very, very least plus 14, because I cannot get that to plus 15.
Right. The struggle is real. Yeah, isn't that something though? Just a little bit of upgrade on the stuff you have already is crazy, and then the ability to farm whatever slot you need in the regular zones and whatnot.
Man, and it's Summoners War is chess for RPG fans, dude. You really do what makes your game, what makes your lineup are your runes.
Yep.
As I said before, I truly believe that yes, 5-star monsters will have better skills, blah 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 blah. But the performance of the monster is based on the runes, dude. Okay. There's no other way around it. Yep. The strategy, the game truly begins when you focus on your runes. That's when the game begins.
All right, all right. So let's see here. Next section I got for you is going to be the fan base questions and whatnot. For all
All
those that are
right.
watching, we literally had just under about 100 questions to submit, but
Let me
unfortunately,
just stop you real fast. If you guys are team dude, I'm not gonna answer your question. But if you're team,
team.
no, I'm more than open to say everything.
Oh man, team dude. Yeah, yeah, it's there. So,
By the way, Childish, well, are you team dude or team Desperado? That's a good question.
the first TOA race, I was persuaded, very heavily persuaded, to go Team Dude. But it's my distinct pleasure and honor for the second TOA race that I went Team Desperado.
My man. Thank
Yay!
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
buddy.
buddy.
That's what I like to hear.
So obviously I love you guys both. I think what I'm gonna do is just go back and forth to give you guys both some love. But yeah,
That's
it's cool. Either way, you both teams. I love them.
Yeah,
So
and trash talks aside, dude and I are really good friends,
yeah,
dude.
of course.
It's just it's gamer talk. It's gamer talk, and it just happens that I'm a little bit more. I guess it's just on my personality to be a little bit more careless about how I talk to people and how I deal with people,
Hmm.
which gives me that's why some people like me, I guess, on the stream, just because I'm as real as you get, I
That's
guess.
it. You got to risk it to get the biscuits, son. You know what it is. All right.
True that.
All right. So for all those that are listening, thank you guys all for the submitted questions. But as you might have guessed, a lot of the questions that I asked, unfortunately, didn't stay within the category. There was a lot of questions that were asked about variety things, which unfortunately he can't disclose at this time. However, I was able to gather a couple of them that we're going to go ahead and go for you today, and then we're going to bust out a suggested box at the end with a couple of suggestions from some of our fans over there.
Cool.
So first one up is going to come from Trey Des Gaming. Trey Des Gaming asks, as the game continues to grow, obviously so will the servers. So do you think there'll be another chance that there will be like an expansion of a server or an ability for people to move cross servers or whatnot? What do you think?
That's a question that is not really up to me to answer, because ultimately that's a choice that only the devs can
Sure.
make.
Yeah.
That said, though, I don't think that it's on the plans as of right now,
Sure.
to be very honest. Especially because most of the areas or most of the of the of the different time zones have been covered, right? People in Europe were really suffering with Asian global time zones, and now they have their own server. Global pretty much involves the whole American, both South American and North America. I understand that in a few countries it's a little bit difficult still. I believe that in Brazil now they're 6 hours ahead.
Yeah.
So it may take a little bit of planning. But as of now, I don't think that's something that it's on the plans, but I don't deny the possibility of it happening if push comes to shove.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Next question is from Henry QSC. Henry QSC wanted to ask you, what's your
Hola,
take?
Henry.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember Henry from the YouTube channels. Yeah, he supports all the videos and whatnot. Henry wanted to ask. He would like to know, what is your take on the current status of Destroy Runes, and do you feel, as you in personal, do you feel they need to be changed? Because from his perspective, it seems like they're not really a popular set, but of course, I think it just kind of depends on what's kind of going on in the meta. Obviously, things can change when new units come out, this and that, whatever. But your opinion on the Destroy Runes, do you think it's doing good as it is today, or do you think it needs kind of a revamp?
I would consider maybe a possible revamp, and then I'll tell you why. Because I haven't used them yet.
I'm right with you.
So I guess that says something about the rune, right? But yeah, I don't have much to say. I don't use them. I guess people usually use them on Acropolis or whatnot. But I particularly don't use it. I have not much to say about it, just because I tried using it a few times. I didn't see the results that I wanted to see, so I was thinking, I better invest on something that I'm seeing the results rather than trying to learn something new at this point of the game.
Sure.
Maybe a little bit later, when my meta changes, as you said, I will explore a little bit more around the Destroy Runes, and then I'll have a more established opinion about it. But as of now, I would say revamp, just because I don't use it, and if I don't use it, it's because I don't see a use for it.
Yep, I like it. So, and then last but not least, this question's actually coming from me. So selfish, this guy. He's taking his own questions, whatever. But like I stated, we didn't get a lot of questions, from a lot of people that we can ask on the channel. So I thought this one was really, really cool. Since we had the opportunity to come out there. We had a couple of YouTubers that you were able to connect with on the global side, as well as some people that you were able to connect with at the BGS, and
Right.
we're able to pass out some merchandise. First and foremost, probably being the summit is where we had. People have seen it on the YouTube and streaming and whatnot, and I ain't gonna lie, I've never gotten such a positive feedback on merchandise and being able to hopefully one day get that. So I know this is not generally your topic of strength, but I
Right.
wanted to know if you might know a little bit on the inside as far as, do you think they might have any future plans to possibly sell something? Because Lord knows I know I'm gonna go head to toe, okay, in some
Right.
Com2uS stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Hell
a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of people. I mean, a lot of people. I ain't gonna lie. I got a lot of
No,
emails.
I have no doubt, dude. I have no
Yeah.
doubt. And trust me, like going to BGS and 'cause we just took a very few select hats to give just to the influencers, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
I was able to see the results though. People were going nuts for those hats. And I'm like, listen, I can give you a T-shirt, I can give you a water bottle, and they're like, no, give me the
The
hat.
hat. The hat. I'm
So
telling you, man. It's
so I
great.
get it.
They
I
love
get it.
it. They love it.
Let me answer you though with two different personalities that I have. I'm gonna answer you as an employee, and I'm gonna answer you as a fan of the game or somebody who just expects the best for the game. Okay,
Okay.
as an employee, we have heard you guys. Believe it or not, I know a lot of people distrust us on this matter, but a lot of we pretty much send all of the recommendations that you guys give us on the stream on Facebook. We do send them to the responsible people. We do send them to marketing leaders. We do send them to the devs sometimes, straight to the devs' hands or the PM. Right. That said, um, we know that you guys want it, and we want to make you guys happy. As a company, it takes a little bit more than just oh, let's make a bunch of stuff and sell it online.
Right. Right.
It's
Right.
not quite as that, right? Like we are first and foremost a mobile gaming company,
Correct.
right? And that's where all of our focus, or most of our focus, is on too, is to make sure that our mobile games are pretty hot, such as Summoner's War, such as Soccer Spirits, and such as Wonder Tactics, which is a cool little game that we just launched, which I really enjoying. That said, I do think, and I agree, and that's my personal opinion, that having Summoner's War merch would go nuts. I think we'll go wild like fire.
Yeah.
People are just gonna buy like crazy. I think that would be a smart position of Com2uS to have. I know that they heard you guys. They know you guys want it. I believe that they may be considering it. I don't know when though. I believe it's something a little bit more long term,
Yep.
when the game is a little bit more well established, I
Sure.
guess.
Sure.
And then we're gonna focus on that a little bit. But we know that you guys want it. We know that it's hot. We know that it's something that will, be perceived. It's just a matter of time and priorities right now. And the main priority is making good mobile games.
Yep. Nope, I like it. And then the last question is the funny question that Dude wanted to throw into. He says, "Do you feel you are better than Dude in every way?"
In every way possible.
In every way possible. You got that
Every way
right.
possible. Just because he's lucky enough to have two Pernas and another, 17 5 stars, what does that make him? A lucky guy? Screw that,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, that's
I,
it.
I I got this far with no luck.
That's
And I
it.
got you guys' love. So hey,
Yeah, I like it.
every way, shape, and form, and swag.
My man. All right, cool. So that's the general questions that we got for you. I'll just pitch out the next 5 suggestions. So I got a collection of people that not just wanted to ask questions, but just suggestions out there. And so
Cool, cool,
I'll just
cool.
go ahead and read them out, and then we'll kind of go ahead and wrap up the video for you, so you can get back doing your thing.
Let's do
But
this.
shout out here to Royal Nerd Gaming. He just wanted to know if there was a better, working on a better way to hopefully decorate your island, because every time you buy like a something in the shop or whatnot, for every tree you have to go
Right.
back into the shop, and so it's kind of a hassle. But I feel like whether it's decorating the island or expanding the island, there's quite a bit still that we could do with it, and I don't think it would be too
Yeah.
much of a
And not only that, people already complain, and more often than you would believe, Childish, that the game is too heavy for their devices. And I get it. Not everybody, lives in America or Korea, in which you can buy a decent device
yeah.
for cheap. In many countries, it's really difficult to have a really good device to run the game, and
Sure.
people complain about the size of the game. And making something like that, I'm not a programmer, but I would imagine that creating something that would easy a little bit the way in which you decorate your island could make the game a little bit heavier.
Hmm.
And if we will make the game heavier, I would believe that it would be better to do it, creating more units or creating more strategies or creating more dungeons than making it easy for you to decorate your island. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion.
Sure.
That said, though, as I said, we do forward all of the suggestions to the responsible people, and I will make sure to forward that one as well.
Okay, cool. Next one up is from Torasin. He says he wanted to know if there could possibly be in the future a rework of the SD drop. So, right now going on, we got a lot of different fusion that the majority of them can be farmable. Where you got that one unit or here that you can't do or whatever. So hopefully in the future, possibly rework some of the SD drops so that people can have the opportunity to pull a unit that is going to be available for like a fusion in the future, something like that.
Right. Hey, just recently we had the Wind Lizardman dungeon, right?
Yeah.
People ask, man. People ask, and believe it or not, Com2uS listen.
Yep.
Sadly, it's not like we are a company. We're not Santa Claus, right? We can just give everything that is asked. Like there are processes and there is stuff to be done.
Yep.
And I didn't mean to sound like a jerk if I did. It's just the way I speak. But I like the idea. I consider it. I believe that maybe something will be possible to be created after a few more updates. Let's see what are the next plans from the devs. The next big updates. Right now, people are still very focused on the Rift of Worlds. People are still focused on the raids. A lot more so than fusioning as of right now. So I guess if we wait a little bit more, we can see more results on that area. But then again, I can't promise anything. The only thing I can promise is that I'm definitely forwarding these suggestions.
Yep, I was going to say, I mean, and as far as the regular SDs that you do, like the 3-day and 7-day ones, it hasn't been more clear, reintroduced in the Wizardland. This is not the first time it's been out there. This is the second time. In addition to that, having the opportunity to have, the extra Death Knights or whatnot, the dark one and the light one, helping people out with the skill ups for Fedora, Diaz, and so on and so forth. And Brian, I mean, it's never been more clear that you guys are definitely putting stuff out there in an effort to help people, smooth their way into the rifting and make their enjoyment of the game even that much better. So I do appreciate that.
What was your favorite update? Let me interview you real fast.
What's your favorite update?
What was your favorite update?
There is no favorite update, with the exception of just the induction of various things. So when you guys introduced Guild Wars, that was used. When you guys introduced Rift of Worlds, that was used. But obviously, I think it's unanimous that the update that was just recent with regards to the Rift of Worlds, being able to connect, not just be able to have another opportunity to do something and clear something, but to be able to connect even more so, just the same way we're doing it right now, where I'm literally playing with you. Zerobet, shout out to Zerobet one time, fellow YouTuber out there, hashtag Brazil, and then I'm playing with myself. Who would have ever thought that we would have been able to have the opportunity at any random time just to connect and be able to play like that? So, big hats off.
And honestly, that completely changed even the stream, dude, because as of now, as we knew, the stream was pretty much Dude and I playing and talking, right?
Yep.
And I was actually always challenging Dude and the whole stream team as saying, dude, can you ask Zero to invite me again, please?
Yeah.
All right. So I was saying they're gonna get tired, dude. Because you're definitely boring, and there's just so much cool I can be. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to see us just doing B10, 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 B10.
Right.
And now Raid came, and we can finally play with the audience.
Yeah.
I can play with you, Childish.
Yeah.
Now I can play with Team Desperado all day long. Now I can play with some of Team Dude and try to persuade them to come to Team Desperado. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
The whole dynamics of the game changed. The whole meta of the game changed. Similarly to the Guild Wars. In the beginning, we had the guilds, but there was no point for the guilds other than just gathering people around.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the Guild Wars. And then we had the guild shop.
Yep.
And then, you can just buy stuff and stuff and stuff. And now you can try to get your Ifrits. And now you can do all that. Everything that I see for Summoners War Childish is that it's going community-wise. Mm-hmm. That's what makes a game. That's what makes an online game. Yep. That's what makes an MMORPG.
Yep.
Is the ability to play with other people.
Yep.
There's just so much scenarios you can make. There's just so many dungeons you can make. I bet you that if it wasn't for runes, nobody would do, B10s anymore. They would just do raids. Yep. The thing is, they have to grind, and that's part of the game. I get that.
Yep.
But the future of MMORPG is playing together.
Yep.
It's hanging out with friends, and that's the beauty of Summoners War.
Yeah, you could have said it better. I think when people ask me, what were some of the favorite games I loved growing up, and I name off, they were expecting me to name off a couple of games or whatnot, but literally you can name off any game, any game that had the opportunity to connect, with the multiplayer. Right back in the day, it was the modem, the dial-up. Just being able to have that one-on-one connection, or
Yep.
even a few years down the road having that MMO connection or whatnot, being able to play with various people on various games. I mean, it's a whole new world. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right, and keep in mind, guys, this is a mobile game. Sometimes some of the suggestions we receive, it's almost like this is a PC game.
Yeah,
I get it that it's really good, but it's not a PC just yet.
yeah.
So, but rest assured that we will keep following the newest technologies on the mobile market, and we will try to make this game as best as possible to you guys. That without a community, there's no game, Childish.
Yep. Yep.
Plain and simple, brother. Like there's nothing, and that's why I'm so, passionate about talking to people, and that's why I'm so passionate of giving it straight to them. I don't want to give the site that Com2uS is just releasing games and not caring about the community.
Right.
That's not true, and that's why people like me, that's why people like Dude, that's why people like Tio, who sometimes mods for us. He's the community management for the Spanish Summoners War Facebook. That's why we're here, is to listen to you guys and is to make sure that you guys are all right and that you guys are covered. And based on that, it's all history. It's just playing the game. But you guys make the game.
Yeah.
Without community, there's no game. Plain and simple.
I love it. Alrighty. Next one up here, we got ourselves Foolish J. The only suggestion that they wanted to do was hopefully have somebody within the Com2uS community be able to see what they could do about clearing or cleaning out some of the user ratings. A lot of people use the user ratings for kind of trollish stuff or whatever, and hopefully later on down the road or whatever we can kind of clear that out so that we can help the people out. I love the fact that now that you got when you hit the level 40, you're able to it kind of invites you to put something down with the user rating,
right.
Maybe possibly making it so that level 40 people, since you have established such a the game has been established for quite some time. There's plenty of people coming up that can provide some insight. Once they kind of hit that milestone of level 40, they got a little bit more experience. They can help out one of the people out there. So.
As I said, man, like when you get to level 40, that's when the game really starts, because now you're investing in runes, and now you're playing chess, now you're strategizing. So it's all about that. But I agree with you. And then again, man, we're gamers. You're a gamer too.
Yep.
It's all about the troll at the end of the day.
Yep.
I do get it that it's annoying, especially when you're actually trying to learn about a specific unit. You want to go there, you want to see if the unit works a little bit better. And I do agree that it would be a good suggestion to put a limit for people to post there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's gonna control the trolling though.
Right.
Honestly.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
There's trolling everywhere, every level possible.
Yep.
And the most you try to stop, the more trolling there will be. It's just the nature of things. But it's a good suggestion. I'll send it forward, definitely.
Gotcha, cool. All right, I got two more here. Second to last one is XRY Pro. We've had a lot of great new units as far as 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, but you guys have made it perfectly clear that you've gone out of your way to help the community out, whether they're pay to play, pay to win, or free to play. And so one of the things that kind of stuck out at me, when you guys introduce new units in the 3 to 4 and the 5-star, maybe actually taking it back a step and trying to come out with another 2-star. So that the people that have the ability to get a unit, something that you can get in the Magic Shop or Unknown Squad or whatever. I mean, it doesn't have to be the latest and greatest, but just something fresh, something new and exciting.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
new Garuda out there, right? Like new Pixies out there, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and so what their thought process was, because we have the opportunity to have ourselves in the future of 2016, having ourselves the 3-star and below PvP, it's never been more clear that we're going to be having a lot of more units out there that are going to be, a lot of people are going to be more focused on the 3-star, use and whatnot. But who knows? There might be that next light imp. Or that, right. One of those, random 2-star units that just might change the game. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be really cool to see, what they're gonna do on the store.
I agree immensely, man.
Yep.
I hope it comes. That's definitely something that I'll push forward, and I'll cross my fingers to have, because it doesn't hurt to get eeasy units. It doesn't hurt at all.
It doesn't, no.
Like who would have known that Colleen, out of all of the monsters, would be gold for Necropolis? Who would have known? I'm just glad that somebody was crazy enough to read her skills and try her out and make the best out of it, And there are pearls, I believe there are still pearls out there. Currently, I believe that there's still a few 2 stars that are pretty good. It's just a matter of of the meta of the game.
Yep.
But I do agree. I would love to have a few more of those pearls out there.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. All right then, and last but not least, we got ourselves another YouTuber to add, Hypnotic Nick, and this is, even though I'm stating his name, this is the shared suggestion out of the YouTubers and streamers in our private YouTube and streaming group and channel. Their recommendation, in addition to my opinion, my recommendation too, is seeing what we can do as far as guild revamping the Guild War ranking system. Right now, it's kind of a little RNG based when it comes to who gets selected and who doesn't get selected, and since we're only limited on so many swords, the as far as the end day, being able to win or lose, it can be anybody's match, with regards to who gets attacked or whatnot. So hopefully there could be a little bit more, finessing, so to speak, as far as the ranking goes.
If you think about it, Childish, the game is a baby still, bro. It's a baby. There's so much to do, and so much to learn, and so much to achieve as we grow in such a global level as we have been growing. You know what I'm saying? I do agree. I think that there's stuff that can be more finessed, as you said. You said it perfectly. And the only way to have it happen is to keep playing, man, and to keep inviting your friends to play, and keep sending your suggestions, man. Go to the forum, complain. If there's something you don't like, complain. If there's something you would like to see a change, make a criticism. Don't just come like cussing at us, because that doesn't take nobody anywhere. But what I'm saying is, the game is for you.
Right.
And the best place possible to go is either sending a message straightly to Hive, to the one-on-one increase that you can do through the game, or the forums. And somebody's definitely gonna gather that suggestion and send it forward. Here's the thing, though. It's a game with 50 million downloads right now, right? If we have 15 people making a thread on the forums, it really doesn't mean much. With the grand aspect of things, you know what I'm saying? So it does take community. It does take people, saying what they want to have in the best way possible. Not cussing at us, but just giving constructive criticism such as this, which I agree. And I cross my fingers that hopefully something will change in the future. But that's how we make the perfect game for our community. That's how we make the game that we want to have.
So if you guys see some of those posts out there, people, trying to, throw their feedback in and whatnot, make sure you chime into that community, make sure you chime into that message and show your support. I don't even have enough fingers and toes to count how many times you guys have made changes based on the community, and they all started from that one post where they had 25, 50, 75 people come aboard and say, hey, I tested this out. Here's the data. Here's the stats, whatever like that. This is how it is. This needs to be reworked, or this is what's happening. Glitches. Everything.
And being very honestly, and this is not just because I work at Com2uS, but I haven't really seen a company that listens to the fans as much as Com2uS does, man.
I'm with you.
Like you guys ask, we examine all of the possibilities, and if it's something doable, we do it.
Yep. Definitely.
Like what company does that? I love it. I love it. And as I said, you guys, at the end of the day, the community has the power. So that's all about community. And I'm never gonna stop saying that. It's all about community, because without people playing the game and without people sticking together to raid, to make guilds, and to deconstruct the game enough to make it even better, there is no game.
Right. Definitely. All right. Well,
it's all for you guys. It's all for you, and that's why I'm here. That's why I do this here. That's why we have this stream, because that's one of the possibilities of talking to you guys live. There's no excuses. There are some stuff that we can't really say, and you guys know that by now. You guys are not kids. You guys know that. But it's all about instant connection between us and community, and making Summoner's War as best as it can be.
Cool. Definitely. All right. Thank you so much, my man. We're pretty much it with the questions, suggestions, and everything like that. I wanted to give you an opportunity to get any shout outs out that we need to before we close out the video. What do you say?
Man, shout out to my, Brazilian influencers. Became really good friends of mine. 0bit for playing with us.
Yeah, thank you, 0bit. I appreciate it, man.
Eric, Mark, PBR, Brevengers, all of you guys, Kazuki, Portaga, Jack Tricken with the excellent idea of making the Summoners War network, something that I really do hope is going to grow internationally, and now we can finally be a global community rather than just individual communities in separated countries.
Yep.
Maybe now that's a chance of having everybody funnel through a single website and talk to everybody. I'm not gonna send a shout out to Dude. So
yeah.
if he wants, he can come and say thank you for me just mentioning his name here. But I'm not
Yeah.
give him that that taste.
He should be that fortunate, that you mentioned that name.
Exactly. I'm just gonna show him the lollipop and drag it right out from him.
Yep. So
and absolutely, shout out to you, Childish. You came, you were definitely one of the maybe the first, influencer to come and visit us. And
I was.
I was glad enough
Yeah,
to actually.
let me throw it out there. Yeah, I was. No, no, man, I was just playing. But yeah, no, I had the opportunity to come out there, and it could be more. It's how do I say this, man? I couldn't be more happy to have that opportunity to come out there. Kidding aside or whatever, it's what an honor to get that opportunity. So big shout out to everybody out there in the Com2uS community. It's great. It's amazing.
Yeah, we're together, man. We're together. As I said, it's one community. As we say in Portuguese, tamo junto. We're together. And let's rock it, man. Let's grind.
Yeah, right on. And so we'll finish off the video with a call out, kind of similar to what we do in my a variety of other videos. So as you know, for 2016, I'm trying to be bigger, I'm trying to be better, and I'm trying to connect the community with Com2uS, with this episode 1s and 2 from you, Com2uS, from you, Desperado, and then Com2uS Dude. And so I would like to have the opportunity to hopefully, maybe a couple months down the road or a month down the road or whatever, to interview another, person within the community. So, seeing that you've worked there for quite some time, and people of a variety of personalities, different departments and whatnot, if there was one person that you could call out on the video today, they don't have to do it, but if you wanted to call them out to get their voice or whatnot with regards to the interview and whatnot, who would that be and why?
Oh wow,
Yeah.
wow!
Hit it up.
Well, if we would keep within the Summoners War realm,
Okay.
I would call out either Hootie or Ghana. I would call out Hootie. I would call out Hootie, and I'll tell you why. Because that TOA race with Dude was way, way, way too close. And I'm sure that he's still, is still stuck on his throat. That he wasn't able to swallow that just yet, I don't think. So, Hootie, you up, boy?
All right, there it is. Hoodie has been announced. You better get out there, my man. It's time to get to it, jump on it, and be about it, okay? Again, thank you for coming on board, and thank you for spending so much time. I know that we kind of went over a little bit of time, but hopefully you don't get fired today. Oh, man. But no, thank you guys all for tuning in. It's a pleasure to make these videos for you. As always, it's your boy Childish and Desperado with ChildishPlays. Checking out. Take care, and we will see you next time, guys. We're out.
Educate and dominate, guys. Peace.
Boom.